Hi, Love Lifers. Ntanta Duvelona, Duvelumtende Intombe Birthmark Africa. I'm hoping you guys are good, Love Makaiba, because I'm good too. We're back with the 16th episode of Purple Couch, and in this episode, we're going to be giving you guys more great content. We're in the month of November, and we're going to be talking about gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is dimming lights in people's lives. Between 25 and 40% of women have experienced intimate partner violence. Guys, I would like to show appreciation to our funders, the National Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. For always supporting us in everything that we do. Also, guys, don't forget to tolakala on the socials as Love Life NGO. Please do like, share, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There was a video making rounds in social media where a woman was taking out ixoxo eliphilayo from her vagina, a whole frog, guys, can you imagine? Apparently, some women do this when they're struggling to fall pregnant. Desperate times call for desperate measures. God, again, it can never be me. All I'm saying, Mina, you can easily just go to a clinic and talk to a professional. Also, guys, we had the 450,000 girlfriend allowance. Can you imagine, guys? Please do share your thoughts in the comment section. Manje, it's Caster Strata, and we ask you guys this question. Do you think institutions do enough to cater for people who are differently abled? Check this out.
Hi, my name is Uzama Khateb, and the question is, do I think that institutions are doing enough for the disabled? My honest opinion, not necessarily. I think the government still needs to do a lot of research, go out there and find out what disabled people really need to make life easier for them to move around in our malls, in our schools, and again, in our hospitals and in our clinics. We're having problems. There's not enough. The rails are just not enough. The parking spaces sometimes, So I think that the government should just go out there and find out what works for the disabled people.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really taken note of whether enough is being done to cater for differently abled people, but from what I can see, yes, I do see ramps, I do see lifts, I do see facilities that are being allocated for them, but also it's not everywhere. You don't see it all the time. So if it's a question of whether or not enough is being done, then I would say that we wouldn't be having this conversation if enough was being done. So till it becomes a norm, and it's not an issue that people think they need to bring up and say, okay, is enough being done? Then only then can we say good, okay, not. Yeah, it's fine. But for now, I think with any institution, it always stands to improve in how it serves its people.
I woke up this morning and realized I was 18 years old. Like the sun came up and I realized that I have existed on this earth for about 6,570 days. See, being a woman in this country, my life expectancy has been significantly shortened, and I realized that by the time I'm 19, I'll probably be dead or on the way to dying. So I thought it would be important for me to practice for my funeral, to audition for the role of Kopsi. My funeral won't be like those other funerals. No, it'll be the greatest funeral there ever was. So great that they'll broadcast it across countries. I mean, the story of my death will be so Twitter-worthy that you'll create hashtags that trend for 3 days. My face will be plastered across your statuses. You will call me angel and tell me to rest in peace. I bet even the president himself will be there. Grace us with his presence. He will hold my mother's hand while she recites my eulogy, while her eyes fill with tears while she chokes, and afterwards he will get up on that podium and give the best speech he has ever given. So perfectly written, with each word turning my life into a story to be remembered. He will beg you to remember my name, tell you to not forget me, and you will add me to the list of other names that we have had to remember since basically forever. And my body will lie in its casket. Every inch of me covered in bruises, stab wounds made so expertly that you could call it art. I will be the latest backdrop for the Gents Let's Do Better campaign. They will promise to do better, change their DPs to purple, sing Protect Our Women till the cows come home, and I will smile from my grave, my dead lips forming a thank you. Because that's what you want, right, gents? A thank you. A thank you for trying, thank you for sharing, thank you, thank you, thank you. My ghost will clap for you. A thank you for finally caring about my life now that I'm dead or whatever, the way you cared about Riva or Naledi or Evelyn or Tsegofatso or the hundreds of other women you care and we die right. I will form a thank you while I wait for the next body to fall, to come lie next to me, to come keep me company, because I know it won't end with me. When my soul leaves this earth, the first person I will see is Nene, and she will smile at me. That soft kind of smile, and Kwasa, she will take my hand and squeeze it just a little bit, just enough to remind me that I can still feel. I will be the latest addition to Heaven's special welcome committee. Practice my hug, practice my smile, ready to welcome the next girl, ready to tell her it wasn't her fault, that I wore pants too, that I didn't make eye contact. I promised that I did everything they have ever told us to do since I was like 6, but still, he raped me. Still, he beat me. Still, he killed me, so I will tell her it wasn't her, even if it feels like it. There are 294 more days left before I turn 19. 294 more days of being terrified to walk outside, of hugging my mother tight so when I'm gone, she remembers the feel of my arms around her, of pausing at the door to say goodbye to my dad. Half a see you later and half a goodbye forever, in case this is the last goodbye that I have. The last hug, the last kiss, the last time I get on the bus, the last time they see me as I am now, alive. I don't know if I'll make it to this time next year, or even if I'll make it to the end of this day. See, like every other woman in this country, I'm living on borrowed time, waiting for my turn, for my big debut as victim number 1,000 and something. So here it is, the audition tape to my funeral. Was that good enough, sir? Did I get the part? Did I look victim enough? See, I was going for this murdered schoolgirl type of vibe, a closed casket type of silence, cold, like the autopsy of a dead body. Cause of death, being woman and alive.
Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. Like, the poem was really nice. I thought I was gonna cry there. But anyway, that was really nice. So I would like to know, okay, what inspired the poem?
Okay, so I wrote Audition Tape to My Funeral. That's the title of the poem. Okay. And I wrote it during like a really difficult period in South Africa in terms of femicide and all of the gender-based violence that we were seeing around the country. And it was just after the news of Kwasa, the UCT student who was murdered. And around the same time where in the previous year it was Uyinene as well, who was also a student and was killed. And I just remember like, I was watching the news and I was so angry. You know, like I had this big emotion of like anger, but at the same time I was also really sad. And most of all, the emotion that I felt the most was hopelessness. Like every single year I'm feeling this. Every single year it's another person. And it's always thinking, when's it my turn? Right. When's it gonna be my parents crying? When's it gonna be, you know, like I was in matric and I have all this excitement about, oh, I'm finishing high school, I'm going to university. But now university was this experience of, I might not even get there, or when I get there, I might not finish, or, you know, there's all these dangers, like I could go to varsity and want the varsity experience that we all want, but being a girl, that varsity experience is so much different because going clubbing isn't just going clubbing, it's going clubbing and maybe not coming home. It's going to the post office and maybe not coming home. Like, and having to deal with that and reconcile that with where I want my life to go, and also this really big feeling of there's this big obstacle that's always there that I might not be able to get through or get past, you know. And that's where Audition Take to My Funeral came about. It was kind of just a way for me to say all the things I was feeling and couldn't really talk about. Like, it just, it came out that way for me to express those things,
All right, it's no shame. That was really nice, Shem. That poem is very nice, and I'm sure people that are feeling hopeless can then go back to your poem and then try and get that hope from it. So now I'd like to know, tell us about who you are, who Tari is.
Okay, so my name actually does mean hope. So I guess maybe that's where the whole wanting to inspire hope and change. And I think with my work, so my name is Tari Nyamayaro. I'm Zimbabwean, Shona, and I was born in Zim, but we moved to SA when I was 2. So I've done like all my schooling and everything in South Africa. My parents are social workers this side. And I think my parents have definitely like inspired that thing of, throughout my childhood, they've never like shielded what the world really is. For me, like I would volunteer at all my parents' organizations from a young age, you know, like seeing the struggles that people go through. I've never been the kind of child who was blinded to that, like, you know, and through my work, the biggest thing for me is trying to let people know, you know, that you're not alone. Even when it came to Audition Take to My Funeral, like I wanted to express how I felt because I knew that this is how my friends felt, but we never felt like we were allowed to feel it, or we could express it, or people would take it seriously, you know, type of thing. And also because I also do a lot of poems around mental health and mental health advocacy, and in the Black community, that's not a thing that we really talk about, you know. It's not depression. People are like, oh, dude, you're not sad, get over it. Like, be strong, bro. Like, what are you, that's not a you thing, you know, that's not a you thing. Get over it type of thing. And I try and use my work to bring attention to those things, that no, these are actually real things. It's real things that we feel, real things that we experience. And there's so many of us going through these things that it can't be labeled as abnormal anymore. I mean, if we're all anxious, it's normal to be anxious at times. And I think it's important for people to be able to find a place where they can see someone talking about that and relate. Like, I always want my work to be relatable. I want someone to watch and be like, oh, she said exactly what I was feeling. Or someone sees me, someone hears me. Because when you're going through those big feelings, like I call them big feelings, when you're going through those big feelings, it's so easy to feel like you're the only one going through it. And when you try and talk to people, like, and
don't even understand.
Exactly, they don't understand. Like you can't even get through a sentence of I'm not okay before someone says, oh, you will be. You know, like kind of thing. And you can't even express like, but I'm not okay right now. And so I want someone to come and watch like my poem Anxiety Anonymous and go, anxiety is normal. I'm not crazy. I'm not mad. You know, this girl just said exactly what I'm feeling. And I think that's something that helps a lot of people, and I want to help through that way if I can and where I can.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to continue following. Hopefully I'll be fine as well, because I'm a person who just expresses their feelings in writing.
Yeah.
So probably I'll
yes,
be fine.
I'll be waiting for you to publish also. Then I'll also follow you.
I'm not sure. So now I see you're a person who, I don't know if I should say support social injustice.
Okay.
So I'd like to know, is that close to your heart? Like, why also?
Okay, so I think it goes back to what I was saying about my upbringing and being exposed to all of those things from a really young age. And just, I've always asked myself the question, like, how do I play a part in making the world better for somebody else? Like, I recognize that I was born into privilege. Like, not to say that like my parents are rich or anything like that, but I've been given a lot of opportunities in my life. I've been protected from a lot of hardship that other people have gone through. And it's always been close to my heart to say, how can I use that position that I have to better somebody else's life? You know, like, I feel like in the world that we live in the society that we live in right now, people are so focused on themselves and the end goal and what they need to do to get somewhere, and we tend to forget that the world is this really big place, and in that really big place there's so many different people who have so many different struggles, and if you are in a position where you can help somebody out of that struggle, then do that, you know. So I would say that social injustice is close to my heart. And my parents always say I'm not the kind of person to keep quiet, and I'm not. I always get into trouble about it because I will call out something that's wrong without any fear. And that's just the kind of person that I've always been. And it's never been about wanting to change the world for me. It's been about how do I do it? You know, that kind of thing. So like that's where poetry comes in, or my activism is that end goal of making the world better for just that one person. And I always say, it's not, I know that I can't change the whole world. I would love to change the whole world, like snap my fingers and everything is fixed. I know that I can't be everything, even though sometimes I try to be, but I can't change everything. But I do think that, exactly, I do think that I can make an active decision every day to try and change at least one person's world. And if that's through my poetry, then great. If that's through speaking out at events, then great, because those are the gifts that God gave me. I can speak, I can public speak, and so why shouldn't I use that to bring attention to gender-based violence? Why shouldn't I use that to bring attention to racism? Why shouldn't I use that to advocate for girls' education type of thing? Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Like, who am I waiting for to do it type of thing? Yeah.
So speaking of gender-based violence, where you touched a little about it, I'd like to know, what do you think about it? How can we stop it, end it? Like, what way do you think we can try helping those people that get to face it? So I think gender-based violence is one of those really big issues, and it's such a complicated issue because it has so many different facets. Like I think people in their heads have this like extreme view of what gender-based violence is. Like, they think someone who's experiencing gender-based violence has to come beat up, bruised, bleeding on the like, but there's like so many different aspects of gender-based violence, and some of those aspects are always overshadowed by the really extreme cases. So I think the first thing about stopping gender-based violence is understanding it in its entirety. You know, like, what does gender-based violence mean? And like, another thing is, I think people need to become more sensitive to gender-based violence and to the reality that gender-based violence is everywhere. It's in households, it's between people who are married, it's between boyfriends and girlfriends, it's between friends, it's been, you know, like, it's not just a random guy on the street beating up a girl because he wants to rape her, that kind of thing. And I think if people are willing to look into that, and sometimes it's scary to look into that because then you start noticing it. And it's easier to be ignorant when you have no idea what's going on, and it's easier to be like, oh, that's not my problem, because that doesn't happen where I am, like, that doesn't happen. But when you start like investigating and learning about what is this thing, and then you start realizing, oh, I know someone who's going through this and I didn't do anything. I know a friend, I know an aunt, I know, you know, that kind of thing. And that becomes scary because now nobody wants to feel like they're not doing their part, even though we all know we're not necessarily doing our part, type of thing. So I think it's important to learn the entirety of gender-based violence, what it means, the different categories, different extremities, and then also realizing that speaking out against it, what can I say, stigmatization. Ooh, the English was like, no. But like taking away the stigma around gender-based violence, you know, and realizing if someone goes through gender-based violence, they're not weak. There's no weakness that should be associated with someone who goes through gender-based violence. And that's for like women, but not exclusively women feeling that they're weak. But I'm saying, like, if we're gonna generalize, a lot of women feel weak and like when it happens to them, and we as society perpetuate that, like, oh, why didn't you stand up for yourself? Oh, why didn't you? And then like someone gets scared to come and say, this happened to me, you know, like we want to hide it. And another thing is, on the counterpart when it comes to men, is saying strength isn't about how strong you are here. You know what I mean? And I think that starts from a young age, and how we teach our children in schools and how we bring them up, that being a man
doesn't mean how strong you are physically. Because when you're constantly telling people, if you want to exert strength, you have to be like this. Obviously, when that strength is challenged, their first reaction is
Eating.
and then we're like, oh, why did he do that? Well, because that's how you brought him up,
Yeah.
you know, type of thing. So if we go back to those basics and really evaluate those lessons that we give our children when they're young and how we bring up people in those segregated roles and investigate how that plays a role in gender-based violence, I think that would be the first couple of steps to ending it.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
think really we just all need to play our part in
Yeah.
in trying to end it and not just turn a blind eye. Even if you thought it's just a lot, but just something.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So now, I heard you in the Girl Zimbabwe.
Oh, Girl Up Zimbabwe,
Girl Up
yes.
Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So I'd like to know how did your partnership with them start?
Okay, so basically with Girl Up, what happened was I started doing my poetry, obviously, on Instagram, and then after audition tape to my funeral, I don't want to say I blew up, because I feel like that sounds, I'm not, yeah. I don't want to sound like, but I blew up in a sense, as in I was on radio in 702, and you know, there was like all these people like now knowing my name and knowing this poem, and then Girl Up Zimbabwe approached me because they're an organization that's part of the United Nations, and they advocate for girls' education in Zim. So they go into rural areas and bring supplies for school, things like that, advocacy around education for the girl child, etc., etc. Because you know, in different parts of Africa, there's still that thing of girls shouldn't be going to school, they need to be wives and do that whole thing. I also didn't understand it, but I'm not going to get into that today. I'll come back for a different segment on that one. But that kind of thing. So they are working for that advocacy of, you know, a girl has more potential than just, being a housewife and all of those things. So they approached me and were like, because now I have this platform where I can also use my voice to bring attention to those issues. They asked if I would like to be an ambassador for them. So I fly to Zim a couple times a year to go through the schools, and I talk to the girls and, you know, see I am a girl child. I am going to school. I am not aiming for marriage alone. Yes, I want to get married. I want to have a family, but that's not my end goal in life, and it doesn't have to be my end goal in life, and it's not the only option that I have, the same way it's not the only option a boy child has, you know, etc., etc. So those are the kind of conversations and work that I do with them.
All right. So guys, being a housewife is not the only thing you can ever do.
It's not. I feel you know what it is? I feel if you want to be a housewife, go for it. My thing is, if that's what you want to do, do that. But don't tell me that that's the only thing that I can do, because it's not. If I make the decision you know what, guys, school's not for me, I want to get married, cool, then that's my decision. But not for you to come and tell me, because you are a girl child, get married. Or because you're a girl child at this certain age, if you're not married now, something's wrong with you. Or if you don't have a child yet, something's wrong with you. Because,
guys,
no. Because no.
So I'd like to know just, do you, is there a way you can teach people how to recite poems?
How to recite poems?
Yeah,
I think, you know, I get this question a lot.
I'm just wondering.
I'm thinking of starting a school, maybe, you know, a slam poetry with Tari vibes.
Because I'm just wondering,
She's
how do they
do it?
No, how do they just
sit down and start writing?
Start writing, and then it's a poem.
People always ask me how did you start writing into poetry? And it sounds like I'm lying, but really I just stood up and sat down, and then I was like, oh, I might be good at this. I might be good at this. And then I posted one poem. And then people were like, wow, you might be good at this. And I was like, okay, let me carry on. And that's kind of just how that came about,
All right, so any other projects you going to be doing right now?
So far. So there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up around 16 Days of Activism in December. But yeah, I don't want to say yet, but things are coming. Yeah, it's very exciting. A lot of things are looking up, and that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. We'll follow you. And
thank you.
With following you, I'd like to know how my social media handles work, where people can follow you, check your poems, get that hope. Where can they get you?
So on YouTube, it's Tari Nyamayaro, and on Instagram, it's Tari_Nyamayaro, as well as Twitter.
Thank you very much for coming here. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was really nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Shem. Guys, go get that hope from Mapoema Tari. Check her out at Payanaguma socials. This was our exclusive interview. Manje is Katisa YPs, and we're with the lovely, the beautiful, the makeup artist, the actress, the singer, Zamo. Hi, Zamo Njani.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
I'm good. Thank you.
So I'd like to know, like, Zamo ubani. Kancane nje usitshele who Zamo is.
Okay, so Zamo is a singer, songwriter, actress, and now entrepreneur. Hello, Spotless.
Yes.
So I'm originally from the Kingdom of Eswatini. So I'm Kulele Eswatini, and then I relocated to Johannesburg 10 years ago. So I've been here hustling, pushing. You know, that's just about it. I'm a mother, I'm a lover, I'm a friend, I'm a sister. That's me.
All right, so yeah, since you're saying you're a mother, you are all that, I'd like to know, with you being a makeup artist right now, how did that come about? Is it something that you knew from okay, no, I want that thing, or into it 10 years later, I'm also like to work?
Okay, so basically, makeup is more my mom.
Oh, okay.
So my mom was a lover of makeup. I never really cared about it. I used to see it in hands and but I'm a natural girl, you know, whatever. And then obviously being exposed in the industry, you learn and you see and you're like, hi man, I need to pop, you know, just enhance that what I already have, you know. And then it happened, good team. After my mom's passing, which was 2015, I started doing the whole makeup thing. I'm like, no man, I want to do this. I shadowed a couple of makeup artists, Bo, Clara, Bo Kosi, you know, and I was just saying, no guys, I want to go with you wherever you're going. I just want to see, you know, what you guys are doing. I'm interested in this industry. Okay. And then it happened 2016. I was a part of Joy Celebration then. We're in America, they give me the tender, they say, no man, you're doing this makeup thing, Mercy, do it, you know? And then everything just fell into place. I was juggling between music, makeup. Fast forward, COVID happens 2020. I'm at home, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm stressed, guys.
What am I gonna do now?
Income, you know, there are no gigs, nothing is happening. And then 2021 Feb, took a leap of faith, decided February, I said, let me just jump in and see how that will go. And Spotless was born and we're here.
Since you're a musician as well, you've probably worked with a lot of musicians. How has the whole experience, the exposure been like for you?
It's been amazing. You know, I think being able to put myself in a position where they are my peers and then being in a position where now I have to serve them, it has humbled me so much. It has grown inside of me, you know, so that now must figure now things are popping. Now it's Spotless is running itself. And understand so I think it's just been humbling more than anything. And also laba willing and loving, you know, and supportive of the business, you know, to say you know. It's been amazing.
Now black machine, I don't know what's you, boyo feature or boyo makeup.
Makeup and then so yeah, you know, I was just in studio with them chilling, and then we just decided, guys, let's try something out. You know, because I remember that initially with the whole music thing, I started with gospel, obviously, with my sister. You know, the sisters were doing weddings, were doing this and that, and then I went on to do house music in Mpumalanga, which was around 2007. I remember I was pregnant with my firstborn, 2007, and you know, we did the thing. So getting that opportunity made me feel like, wow, I can actually, because this is where I started. So it felt nice getting back to that kind of vibe. you know.
Guys, Nami, one day is one day. I can only want to study less kind of thing. Lina, one day is one day. So as Love Life, we shed the light to gender-based violence this month. So I'd like to know, what is the cause of GBV?
Angathi ukuthi ngidawuthi i-cause iyini kahle kahle but kakhulu guys, I mostly feel like everyone is focusing on the girl child.
Yes, forgetting about the
instead of also making room for the boy child, because esikhathini lesiningi women also do abuse men. But uma uyibuka kahle, if we are teaching our men, our kids or our sons, our little boys, from the stage sekuba itoddler, umfundise ukuthi this is how you treat a woman. Same as nawe ungumfati uyamfundisa ukuthi wena little girl, this is how you treat a man. Let us make the roles known and let us be open about the roles. You understand? Because the problem iqala like tenini, you are going to say, this guy beat me up. And I'm not saying I'm condoning it, but I'm saying let there be a balance. So if balance iqala la ku upbringing, but now the problem is not ourselves, we're also a broken generation. So many of us are from dysfunctional families, and now how are you going to teach a child to balance when yourself are yet to balance? So I'm just saying, as a single mother, as a single father, try whatever it is that you can to make it known ukuthi lemvo iqala access ligotshwa lisemande siswazi sisho njalo ubagoba basesebancane from tinto letincane nje ukuthi umfana lomncane uyandlula so uthi uyamtshela ukuthi no, that's not how you approach a lady. Otherwise they will see women and see objects and just see something they can push around or whatever. Same goes with women, because we cannot run away from the fact that there are still young boys who are being molested by older women. Do you understand? So again, it goes back to the source. Let us deal with the source, which is fundisani bamvana nibakhulise kahle.
So now going back to Spotless By Zamo. Uqale nje esithubeni, was there anybody supporting you? Like, what was going on?
I had my partner, can I say, I'm not going to mention his name. My paparazzi, you know. Shame. No, my partner was here. I remember even saying, I don't even have capital. He said to me, no, Sandasam, God will make a way. Let's see what's going to happen with Dawendega. And God has made a way. Spotless is here. You know, so we are looking forward to Wukula as a brand. Obviously, I always say, this is my baby steps.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been a year.
Yeah.
Literally, you know. So, I mean, thank you, baby.
Yes, I'm Hashem, because wow, look at you now. You being your own person, doing it into 800. So, Manje, what can we expect going forward for Uzamo?
Going forward for Uzamo, more music, boo, boo, boo. Acting, definitely. There's a drama series that I'm going to be shooting soon. It's called Bukosi. It's a Mpumalanga-based project. So yeah, people should look out for that. So I'm playing a princess. She's a rebel, but she later. Okay, let me not give you the storyline. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, that's really good. So now we check out sing Nyobuka lapha uba kunjani kuba princess estot. But anyway, so on the socials, people who want to come esikoleni sakho for makeup lessons, I think I want lessons.
No, definitely, you must come. So we are at Spotless _by Zamo on Instagram. We are at Spotless Beauty on Facebook. Yeah, we are at Spotless by Zamo on TikTok. TikTok is the thing these days, you know? So my daughter was like, hey, get on TikTok, girl. So guys, you find us there, we are there, and do come, bring your friends, bring your kids. You know, I've had kids as young as 13 coming here to do lessons with their moms. It's such a cute experience. Yeah. You know, so yeah, let's do this, man. Come to Spotless. Kumnan's like, hi.
And then get personal page for music or zonke nje sithola ku Spotless by Zamo.
No. Personal page is at Zamo _ Dlamini on Instagram, at Zamo _ D on Twitter, and Zamo _ Dlamini on Facebook. Yeah.
Guys, Uzamo muhle hle.
Thank you.
Hi guys, no. But anyway, thank you. This was Uzamo, guys. Please do check her out. Ni follow nizeni ku Spotless by Zamo nizofunda ukuba njengami. Yebo. Go feel. Thank you, Zamo.
Thank you.
Sure, Fetu. Ke kalbitso ke asa a former groundbreaker of Love Life and Mamelodi Sundowns soccer player. Recently, I just came back from Egypt as a CAF Women Champions. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Working with Love Life really taught me a lot. It gave me the motivation to say, I really need to work hard. I really need to push myself in everything that I do. Changing lives, it was not easy, but it helped me a lot. So today, as I talk to you guys, I'm a champion. I won COSAFA around September. Then last week Friday, I won CAF Champions League. And just few days back, on Wednesday, I won Hollywood Bet League. So we won treble, which is 3 trophies in a space of 6 months, I can say. So which is a great thing for me, and seeing my life changing, it's always great. And the support that I've been getting from back at home, you guys, it has been great. It has been great. So with that, I'd like to tell you guys, wherever you go, remember to protect yourself, be safe. As you know, we're living in the pandemic, which is COVID. We need to always wear the mask. So whenever you go, have your sanitizers in your hands, sanitize, and also practice social distance. It is a great pleasure to have the support from everyone, and it's been great working with Love Life. I've learned a lot, and now I need to teach others about how they can change their lives. So thank you very much, everyone. It has been a pleasure to work with Love Life. It has been a pleasure to get the support from you guys all the way from South Africa to Egypt. It has been great, even though some of the days were tough, but your support and your belief really lifted us up. So that's why we made sure that we win this tournament for you guys. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to have every one of you. Right now, we are about to finish our games. We have 3 games left of the league, but we're still the champions. But you just have to honor all those games and keep the momentum of winning. After winning the tournament, it will be great seeing the South Africans celebrating with us. Thank you so much for the support. Love you.
Drip is forever. Make this one the most memorable festive season of all time. Ubangene with the fresh seas. Here are some trends to make your combos communicate this summer. Now we've come to the end of our episode. I'm hoping you guys really enjoyed the content that we gave you. Also, I'd like to thank our guest for coming. And as you saw, guys, we had Tari, the poet. So then I mean, I singing guys something yana. Okay. Roses are red, couches are purple. If you're watching this, catch us on YouTube.